Hello everyone! In this video I will explain the principle of building castles. It's very important to dedicate time to building if you want to learn how to do it. Now let's start with the theory. On Wikipedia we can find the following explanation. A castle is a type of fortified structure built during the Middle Ages predominantly by the nobility or royalty and by military orders. From this we can understand that we need to build in a medieval style. Wow, how obvious. Now let's move on to more useful information. First, you need to choose a suitable location for building the castle. If you're a professional builder, you can skip this step. However, this tutorial is for beginners, so we won't skip this step. Ideally, you can build in a flat world, at least at the beginning. Later, you can try to transfer the castle from the flat world to your survival world without changing the landscape. Now, after we have chosen the location, we can move on to the planning itself. We need to highlight the main pairs. Towers, walls, jade, the main building, and for example small details like barracks or training grounds for the army. In my case, red represents towers, brown represents walls, yellow represents jades, blue represents the main building, and purple represents training grounds for the army. Another very important point that I missed during construction is that the towers shall be at the corners, and I have at least 2 mistakes. Most builders, including myself, don't get to this stage, but this is one of the most important. Our towers will be 12 block height, and where the main building will be, they will be 16 block height. The base for the towers is built from stone. Now, a very important detail that we will use both when building towers and walls is the gradient. One of the best ways to diversity boring stone walls and towers is to add colors and atmosphere. The gradient will go from top to bottom. The bottom will have darker shades and the top will have lighter shades. After we finish with the gradient, we need to build the observation deck. It can be built from stairs, slabs, stone fences, and iron bars. Also, if we look at real life references, we will see that the towers had small windows. They can be built from different materials, for example iron bars, stone fence, or using stairs to make small windows. In my video I will choose stairs, but you can experiment and depending on the style of the castle, choose other option or not make windows at all. Another common question is how and when to build the roof for towers and walls. The answer is, if it's a castle, the roof will be appropriate. If it's a fortress or a large city with walls, it's not your option. I will show a mixed type of towers, some with roofs and some without. After we finish building the towers, we can start building the walls. Here the same rules apply. For example, the gradient, darker shades at the bottom and lighter shades at the top. Or for example, the roof over the walls. When building walls, it's very important to consider the type of construction. For example, if you're building city walls, the roof will mostly be inappropriate. The roof was built only over the walls of castles or fortresses. There are a few other cases when building a roof over the walls is appropriate, but you can find them on the internet yourself. Another very important aspect of building walls is volume. If there is no volume, like in our towers, the construction will look uninteresting, flat and unrealistic. Also, don't forget that the towers were mostly at the same level as the walls or higher. In my case, the walls will be 2-3 blocks lower in some places and at the same level in others. Also, don't forget about the battlements. They shall be on both the tower without a roof and the walls without a roof. This was the first part of the castle building tutorial. If you liked the video, you can give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. Since English is not my native language, there might be some mistakes in the text or narration. I hope you will point them out in the comments. This was WazaNoKami, see you next time, and goodbye.